in lane 5. Renee Poetschka of Australia in lane 6. Julia Sandiford of Barbados in lane 7. And Omolade Akinremi of Nigeria in lane 8. There's the Australian champion, Renee Poetschka. Winner of the Australian Championship in a time of 50.19 seconds. Her best time this year, 51.30 at Lindo. And recently she ran 51.72 at Kamloops in Canada. She has been troubled with a quad muscle injury. Kerry, I believe that she's confident that she's fit and well, and she should prove very hard to beat in this heat.
Oh, I think Renee will take out this heat. Even though she has been troubled by injuries, I'm confident that she will come through this and make the final, definitely. I think she's fixing up those problems that she's had, so I think we'll get a good look at how she's running in this one.
Down on their blocks, first heat, women's 400 metres. They're away. Poetschka got off to a good start. So in lane 2, it's Douglas of England, Addy of Ghana in lane 3, Fauna of Sierra Leone in lane 4, Yakachuk of Canada 5, Poetschka Australia 6, Sandiford Barbados in 7, and Akinremi of Nigeria in lane 8. And already Renee stretching out beautifully down the back straight. She's already alongside Sandiford, and she's coming up to Akinremi. Douglas on the inside lane is also running well as they come off the back straight, and Poetschka's taken the lead. And with the stagger, she's nicely in front, but coming through now in lane number 3 is Addy of Ghana. She's also running particularly well. And as they come around the bend with 100 metres to go, it's Poetschka just in front. Addy on the inside now about to take her, and they're clear from Douglas, and out on the outside lane is Akinremi. Poetschka and Addy are fighting it out, and they've both got plenty in reserve. The first 3 to go through. Poetschka switches off near the line, and Poetschka wins it about a metre on the line from Akinremi, and third was Addy in the time 53.15.
Yeah, that was a nice, easy run for Renee. That was what I expected her to do, just to, she actually went out for the first 200, not as fast as she normally does, but she just brought it home quite easily, and she looked good in that one, actually.
Renee Poetschka, 53.14 seconds, taking out heat 1 from Akinremi of Nigeria, 53.29, and Mercy Addy of Ghana third in 53.74. And there's one of Australia's big medal prospects at the track, Cathy Freeman, in the 400 metres. The national record holder, 50.18, setting that in Monte Carlo when she finished second behind Marie-Jose Perec. Has beaten the world champion Jongh Miles twice already this year. And, of course, carry some fond memories for both Cathy and you back in Auckland in 1990 in that 4x100 metres.
Yes, well, Cathy's grown up and matured a lot as an athlete since then, and we're really expecting big things from her here, and I really think she will come through with it. But, yeah, she had a great time in Auckland, and a gold medal there. It'd be great to see her get another couple of gold medals here.
There's the Jamaican Revoli Campbell in lane 3, Cathy Freeman outside of her in lane 4. Overcast skies. World record held by Marita Cott, 47.60. They're away. Freeman got off to a very good start. Llewellyn in lane 2, Campbell lane 3. Freeman already coming up to Kiriakou on her outside. Salifu in 6, Kapalu in 7. And Pinnock showing good speed from Canada in lane 8 and getting a big cheer from the local crowd. Cathy's going well in the centre of the field. It's Pinnock leading about 6 metres down the back straight. The Ghanaian runner Salifu moves to second. Cathy Freeman now moving up into third placing. Kiriakou is fourth. And they're clear from the others. Kapalu and well back is Campbell at this stage. Now Freeman doing it half pace at the moment. There she is as she comes around the home turn, and she's got a lot in reserve, and she's 6 metres in front already as they swing around the bend with 100 metres to go. Cathy Freeman from Australia in the first heat, well clear. Now Revoli Campbell from Jamaica is starting to surge in the last little bit. Kiriakou holding down third placing, but Cathy is going to walk to the line. She's got a lot up her sleeve. She looks around and does it well. Cathy Freeman in the second heat in 53.38 from Campbell and Kiriakou.
Well, this was expected to be a bit of an easy heat for Catherine as well, but really she ran that so easily. She was having a bit of a look around down the main straight here. She went through the 200 in about 25 seconds, so I mean, she actually had to go in that first 200, which is probably what a coach told her to do, get out the first 200 and then just bring it on home from there.
And the official time for Cathy Freeman, 53.37. Revoli Campbell of Jamaica second, 53.66. And Dora Kiriakou of Cyprus third, 53.95. One of the ones to watch here, the defending champion, Fatima Yusuf in lane 2. Phyllis Smith of England, who almost became famous in Barcelona, Kerry, for waving at the cameras all the time.
Yes, Phylis actually gave her butcher back at home a great plug. She had his name written all over her numbers, which wasn't really allowed by the Olympic Committee, but she did it anyway.
She made the Olympic finalist, the Australian Kylie Hanigan.
Yes, Kylie's actually drawn a hard heat in this one.
52.06 when she ran second to Renee Poetschka in the Australian Championships. Hanigan perhaps dwelt a little bit at the start. Yusuf in lane 2 on the inside of Smith. Hanigan coming up now to Rappar on her outside. And Wamba's gone out hard, and she's already after Joseph. And on the outside lane, it's Stephanie McCann. So McCann of Northern Ireland leads them down the back straight with a comfortable advantage at the moment from Joseph and Wamba. Rappar next. Kylie Hanigan's dropped back a bit. And the other two, Yusuf and Smith, are starting to make ground on her. So Hanigan struggling a little bit at this stage. Remember, the first 3 to go through. And it's Rappar, the Ghanaian runner, coming through in the centre now. But here comes the defending champion, Fatima Yusuf of Nigeria, in lane 2. It's Stephanie McCann on the outside lane. But Yusuf takes up the running as they enter the straight. In second placing now is Phylis Smith of England. Kylie Hanigan starting to run through in the last 100 metres now. She's doing a good job. She's run her race out nicely. And Yusuf switches off and is going to almost dead heat with Smith, who got her on the line. Smith beat Yusuf. Kylie Hanigan gets through in third placing, with Stephanie McCann of Northern Ireland heading in the remainder in the time of 52.84.
Yeah, Kylie actually gave me a bit of a fright around the 200 there. I thought she was tying up a bit, but no, she came home well then.
And there are the first and second place getters. Tremendous physique, Phylis Smith in the lower body. Official result, heat 3, Phylis Smith of England in 52.83, qualifying with Fatima Yusuf of Nigeria 53.07. Australia's Kylie Hanigan through at 53.58 in the third placing. Runners down the women's 400 metres, and she has a magnificent chance of taking Australia's first gold medal on the track. She's joined in the final by 2 other Australians, Kylie Hanigan in lane 2 and Renee Poetschka in lane 8. So the Australians, Kerry Johnson, taking a very strong hand.
Yes, I think they will, and I think we shouldn't discount Renee. She's out in lane 8, which probably isn't going to be a favourite lane for her, but she's just got to have a good race plan and just run her own race out there.
Tactically, I think this is going to be a very interesting race, because the defending champion, Fatima Yusuf, will go out hard. They won't get anywhere near that world record of 47.60 set by Marita Koch in Canberra in 1985. And the 400 metres record has stood for 24 years at the Commonwealth Games.
Yes, they won't get anywhere near the world record, but really, they could quite match that Games record. I wouldn't be surprised if that Games record goes here today. It's a lovely hot day, and the 400 metres runners really wouldn't mind it.
There's Kylie coming out of lane 2. She ran so bravely in her semi-final, Kerry. She looked as though she was out of the race with 150 metres to go, and yet she just gutsed it out to finish 4.
She sure did. It's her first Open major championship, and I'm sure she's really feeling the nerves at the moment.
Afolabi of Nigeria in 1. Kylie Hanigan, Australia, the World Junior 4x4 gold medalist in 1990. Cathy Freeman, Australia, the Australian record holder, 50.18. Defending champion Fatima Yusuf, the World Junior champion in 1990. Sandie Richards of Jamaica, who is certainly amongst the chances here, a bronze medalist in the 93 World Championship. She was also the World Indoor Champion in 93. Phylis Smith of England, finalist in the Olympic Games at Barcelona, 3rd in the European Championships recently. Melanie Neef of Scotland, 6th in the European Championship final. And Renee Poetschka of Australia, 50.19 was her time when she won the Australian Championship earlier this year. There's Cathy.
Yes, I really think the girls to watch for here. Fatima Yusuf is just going to go out hard, because it's the only way she knows how to run. She'll just run as hard as she can and try and hang on.
So how important is it for Cathy to stay with her, to stay in contact in that first 200 metres?
Oh, very important, because Fatima won this race last time at the Commonwealth Games by doing exactly that. She just went out as hard as she could and hung on to get home. So Cathy's got to maintain contact with her. And the thing is, Cathy is so fast over 200 metres, it shouldn't be that much of a worry for her.
Sandie Richards beat Cathy yesterday in the semi-final, but Cathy eased her way down the straight, probably switched off around the 100-metre mark and just came down the straight at her own pace, whereas I thought Sandie Richards, Kerry, appeared to be racing over the last 100.
Yeah, she was. Sandie wanted to make a race of it yesterday just to let Cathy know that she was going to be in there with this shot as well.
There's Renee Poetschka, the Australian champion in lane 8.
Renee's had some injury problems, and she's overcome those. And like I said, she has to run her own race, and She doesn't want to be bothered by the other people on the inside of her.
Absolutely delightful day here in Victoria, Canada, on this, the second day of track and field competition at the 15th Commonwealth Games. We hope you're enjoying them back home in Australia in the early hours of the morning. In fact, just coming up to 10 to 8 along the eastern seaboard, and just before 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in Canada.
I think the girls also have to look out for Phylis Smith. Phylis will come home on a lot of these girls, so we'll be watching out for her. Phylis is in lane 6.
So they're down on their blocks. The final of the women's 400 metres. Cathy Freeman of Australia in lane 3, Hanigan in lane 2, Poetschka in lane 8. They're away. Freeman off to a good start from lane 1, Afolabi, Hanigan 2, Freeman 3, Yusuf in 4, Richards 5, Smith in 6, Neef in 7 and Poetschka in 8. Now Neef is making ground on Poetschka. Yusuf hasn't gone out all that hard, and Cathy's running a controlled race. Kylie, Hanigan's dropped back. Freeman's only about 2 metres behind Fatima Yusuf down the back straight. Sandie Richards is making a move. Poetschka still leads them out in lane 8 as they come off the back straight inside the 200. This is where Cathy wants to make a move. She's up alongside Yusuf now. She's up alongside Richards. Cathy Freeman is going to have a big lead as they turn into the straight in the 400 final. Can she tough it out? She's 3 metres in front of Yusuf and Richards. Poetschka on the outside, but Cathy Freeman's got the middle one, I think. Yusuf is making a late dive at her. Keep going, Cathy. She's won gold for Australia. Cathy Freeman has beaten Fatima Yusuf and Sandie Richards in the 400 metres final.
Oh, I feel like crying. Good run, Cathy.
50.38.
What a run. That was excellent.
Australia takes its first track gold medal with Cathy Freeman. And first on the scene to congratulate her, Renee Poetschka. What a wonderful moment for this great young sprinter.
Cathy just followed her race plan to perfection there. She had to keep into contact with all of them for the first 200, make a move over at the 200-metre mark, and then just bring it home as well as she could.
That's where she stamped her authority on the race. And what a wonderful moment it is. Fatima Yusuf, well, we knew she was going to be in trouble if she didn't lead Cathy turning for home. We knew before the race that Cathy wanted to make the move in the 100 between the 2 and the top of the straight, and that's exactly what she did. If they had written a script for this race, Cathy Freeman has followed it perfectly, and she's followed it all the way to the Commonwealth Games gold medal.
That's right. Fatima Yusuf just doesn't have the speed that Cathy has, so even though Fatima tried to go, Cathy could easily keep up with her.
There with the Aboriginal flag and the Australian flag, and she's going to carry both proudly around this lovely stadium here in Victoria, Canada. Well, I hope that's a good way to start your morning back home.
Well, I'm sure Cathy's family's watching back home, and I'm sure you're just as proud of her as we are.
And here it is. Here's the decisive move of the race, with Yusuf, the defending champion in white, dropping back behind Cathy Freeman. Sandie Richards had no answer. Phylis Smith had no answer. And by the time they came around the turn, Freeman had established a lead of 3 or 4 metres. And then it came down to that last 100. The hardest part of a 400 metres. You start feeling your legs, about 80 metres to go. That straight looks longer than 100 metres. It looks like 100 miles. But she was just toughing it out. Yusuf, great credit to her, the champion from 4 years ago. She refused to say die. She wasn't going to let Cathy take the gold medal easily. And she was closing over the last 20 metres, but Cathy toughed it out. And that is a gold medal performance for Cathy Freeman of Australia. From Fatima Yusuf and Sandie Richards, Phylis Smith of England has finished in 4th position. And now it's time to enjoy the rewards of all the hard work that's been put in over the last 4 years. She enjoyed the gold medal feeling with you, Kerry Johnson, in Auckland, and I'm sure you can feel it with her now.
Oh, Oh, and I'm sure that she's enjoying this one probably a little bit more because she's done this one all on her own. And I think that we should also say congratulations to her coach, Peter Fortune, and Nick Biddo, who help her with all of the work. I think that they've done a great job with Catherine.
Yeah, Nick's a great help to us here up in the commentary box, and
he might not have been before that race, Peter. I think he was on nerves.
He was standing alongside me when the race was run, and I can tell you, there wasn't a lot of reaction until they went past the post, and then Nick just threw the hand in the air. And there's Cathy, the smile of a winner, Australia's first track gold medal at the Commonwealth Games, with the Aboriginal flag, the people of whom Cathy is so proud, and so proud of her heritage, along with the Australian flag, making a lap a little bit more slowly than she did a few moments ago. 50.38 the time is a new Commonwealth Games record. Renee Poetschka has finished 5th in 51.51. She ran a brave race, but lane 8 was always going to be tough for her.
Yes, it is hard, and the hardest thing about it is you just don't know what the others are doing, and you don't want to go if someone passes you because you don't know what they've been doing. They might have just taken off all of a sudden.
Kylie Hanigan has finished 8th, Kerry, but a marvellous effort to make the final. As we said, that run in the semi was terrific, and she's recorded the time of 52.55.
Exactly, and for Kylie to finish 8th, that's going to be a great learning experience for her, and you know what, she'll be back in other championships and she'll be moving up that leaderboard.
Oh, those last 10 metres, they were probably as long for you at home and as long for us in the commentary box as they were for Cathy Freeman. But we have a gold medal at the track in the 15th Commonwealth Games. Cathy Freeman, we salute you.
Northern Hemisphere Series. She did so well on the Grand Prix meets, but also at the beginning. That's her first gold medal in her own right. She did win gold as part of the 4x100 relay in Auckland, but now she has got a long way to go.
A tremendous race. Congratulations. That was really splendid.
La médaille d'argent.
Silver medalist Fatima Yusuf from Nigeria.
Well done. I know what it's like to get the silver myself. Congratulations.
Et la médaille de bronze.
The bronze medalist Sandie Richards from Jamaica.
The crowd is with you. Well done.
Pour remettre les fleurs.
Presenting the flowers, Maréchal d'Armand, Victoria Commonwealth Games Society venue chair.
Et maintenant, l'hymne de la victoire de l'Australie.
And now the victory anthem of Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1994 Commonwealth Games medalists for the women's 400 meters.
These are the 15th Games of the Commonwealth from Canada, live on Network 10.